Man, I knew this was going to happen. Jaron Boots Ennis, he kind of underperforms against Karen Chukadasian. For more, check out my full breakdown where I broke down the fight. Now, Vergil Ortiz's side is very vocal. They are speaking up and they want to fight, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. Oscar De La Hoya, immediately after the fight ended, he went to his social media and he posted this. So Boots had just defeated Karen Chukadasian. And then you look at the timing, 8:40, that's right about the time that the bout ended. Oscar De La Hoya must have been watching and paying attention. He says, at Turkey Al-Sheikh, 5 versus 5, Golden Boy fighters versus Matchroom fighters, main event, Vergil Ortiz versus Boots Ennis. So what does this mean? I think it's very obvious what it means. They're looking at, we could beat this guy for sure, and they're looking at him like almost like he's food because of that, you know, because of the performance. And that's how the game works. Oscar, he continues this thought. He says, Cinco de Mayo, Vergil versus Boots, William Zepeda Shakur, Munguia versus Pacheco, and Oscar Duarte versus Devin Haney. That's hilarious. Ryan's Pop said that Duarte is better than Devin Haney. But I made a video about that. You guys check that on the channel. And he said Jose Ramirez, Arnold Barboza winner versus Jack Catterall. That would be a very good card, a very solid card. So again, what this means is they seen the performance, Oscar seen it, and he got confidence. Now this is Vergil Ortiz Jr. This is his manager, Rick, right? And he says, and I quote, after what I saw, Oscar De La Hoya and Eric Gomez, I don't think they will let Jaron Boots Ennis anywhere near Vergil Ortiz at 154. Let alone make an offer. By the way, has anyone seen that offer they said they sent and we turned down a few days ago? And he put a crying emoji. Hashtag Ortiz KO in 7. So he's confident in his fighter. For what? They claim they sent us an offer and we turned it down. We didn't claim we sent them one. There are title fights waiting for Ortiz. Of course, he will look at the numbers on any offer and go from there. But we are not after anyone. Right? Now you got Vergil Ortiz. He popping off. This was before the Chukadasian fight. Shine popping off his mouth from the cell. He don't want it with me. He in PC. He says, or actually his dad said it. Bozy, when did this happen? Can you please post the offer email contract of when this was sent? Post the person's name and actual email, please. That way we are able to confront the person. I don't appreciate this person making decisions for Vergil if this is true. So what is this in response to? Bozy Ennis did an interview and he claimed that an offer was sent to Team Ortiz for Boots, and he's saying that they turned it down. But this is being vehemently denied by Vergil Ortiz's side. And look, this is a screenshot DM chat of him and his manager. And he says, did we get an offer? This is the first time I'm hearing about this. Let me know because I'm about to talk my ish back. Right? And then he said it again. First time I'm hearing about this, LOL. I'm always down for a great fight.
Ortiz up at 154?
They already asked about that. They said they turned it down.
Right? So,
as in Golden Boy turned it down?
I tell you guys all the
Golden Boy,
time,
but I don't know who it was. They said they turned it down. We'll fight him in a heartbeat.
This is why you don't negotiate in public. I think there was some audio interference. This is why you don't negotiate in public, people. Because somebody's going to look dumb. Somebody's going to get called out. You know, and I think Eddie Hearn does that a lot. DAZN does that a lot. Like DAZN, people on DAZN. They do that a lot where they start, you know, speaking, oh, I want to make this fight in Turkey and we want to make this fight. Just make the fights behind closed doors. I hate that. I think that's one of the things that is hurtful to boxing, and people just don't realize it, because you never want to make it public and then the crowd gets involved, because the internet has endless opinions. So we don't need to hear from people that don't need to be present to get the fight done. Meaning, like, some random John Doe or Joe on the internet, we don't need to hear what they have to think about making the fight when they have no bearing on if the fight gets made, right? So them saying, oh, Boots is ducking or Vergil Ortiz will get knocked out, all that's just like sideshow stuff, and it doesn't help get the fight made. That's why you just stick to the business, shut up, do it behind the scenes, and announce it when you're ready. I love it like that. That's how it should be. PBC does that. Eddie Hearn, not so much. So Vergil versus Boots is a good fight, my opinion. Listen, Boots made it hard on himself because I think with the hometown advantage, a guy you had already beaten, you did worse. You did worse. Like, how else can I say this? You did worse with the same guy. If anything, Karen Chukadasian looked more put together than the first fight and looked more improved, because in the first fight, it was on Gervonta Davis's undercard. And that's not really a big main event type of fight. So I think it belongs on like an undercard. But he's with a new promoter now, and this is their main event, whatever. The first fight, I didn't give Karen Chukadasian any rounds. I thought he fought negative and he was in survival mode. But he vowed to come correct and make it a different fight. He was in front of Boots virtually all night, and Boots was getting frustrated. He looked off. He didn't look as crisp and sharp. His defense was mad leaky. So if anything, this is just being honest, Karen improved and showed a different side, more wrinkles to what he is capable of doing, and made the fight a lot more competitive and a lot more fun. Plus, he did get hurt in round 5, took a knee, showed that he was durable. So if anything, your Karen Chukadasian or whatever his name is, your respect for him has to grow, but the hype around Jaron Ennis didn't grow, because it wasn't that type of, you had a second crack at the same guy, and he kind of exceeded expectations, all things considered, even though it was a loss. And boxing works like that. You can lose and still, you gained a lot of fans, right? People think because you win that there's different types of ways to win. Some people win, but they didn't really win. The judges said that they won. You know what I mean? So you could be a loser of a fight and kind of gain more, even though you didn't get the official victory. And I'm not saying Karen won the fight, but he had all things against him, and he performed pretty well, all things considered, and he certainly improved. Versus Boots, there's a regression. That's why you're seeing so many people now come out, because I didn't really, just to be fair, I didn't hear Vergil Ortiz team chomping at the bit when Boots was crunching guys. I didn't really see him talking like, yeah, make the fight and Oscar De La Hoya, but that's boxing for you. This is exactly how it happens. If you look vulnerable, if you look suspect, then they're more willing to go in there. You know what I mean? If you look like untouchable, then you don't see a bunch of people calling you out if you look highly dangerous and stuff like that. People are looking for these vulnerabilities and, these flaws, and they're looking for the Da Vinci Code. And if they think they can solve it, even though they haven't been in the ring with you, then they're more inclined to take it. And I think that's what we're seeing now. So Boots, he performed how he did in his last 2 fights, so he has no one to blame other than himself. I don't think he didn't prepare. It's just, this is the way on fight night, you're looking rather flat, all things considered. And some people will be like, no, he looked great. We're talking about for your standard. It's like if LeBron James scored 11 points in the finals, 11 points is not bad. But for LeBron James, if you only scored 11 and you had 1 rebound, that's not that great. That's not great for your standard. So when I assess boxing, I assess it based on the totality of all the information that I know. I'm not going to hold a journeyman who no one has any faith in to the same standard as someone who is considered the best guy at welterweight or a budding, promising future star. You got to hold people to the standard that they have, whether it's your opinion or if they're rated on people's #1 pound for pound list. And Jaron Ennis has been considered the best guy at welterweight since Errol and Crawford moved up. So I think people just overall expected more. And I know some of the the diehard Boots fans, they're going to get mad at what I'm saying, but I don't really care. Because if you listen to Bozy in the corner, he sounded like he had mad criticism for the way Boots was fighting. He kept telling him to knock out Boots. How you going to get mad at boxing ego? How you mad at me? What you mad at me for? Why are you mad at me? And his dad was saying, what are you doing? You getting hit with dumb stuff? Stop this guy, knock him out. Case closed. So now Vergil Ortiz and other people got confidence. That's how the game goes.